Paul. Yes. I'm going to write down some goals today. Yes. And then we're going to look at what constitutes fraud. Yes. May constitute fraud. Yeah. And then we're going to look at the binding contractual obligations. Now, it's getting towards the end of the month. Yes. And I haven't been able to pay the rent. Now, as much as somebody wanted to remind me that if I don't have a bed to sleep on, yeah, I'm going to have to sleep in the homeless shelter. And I slept in the homeless shelter for the last 6 years. Oh, but there's a binding contractual obligation to make sure that when I fill out the necessary documentation, yes, to get rental assistance because I'm homeless, yes, that the landlord gets paid because she has the binding contractual obligation to be paid the rent at the beginning of the month and not the end of the month. Oh. Now, since I know that we paid the rent for 4 months, yes, because of a snowstorm and other extenuating circumstances, and we paid the rent for April on the 30th of last month, it was April, yes. There seemed to be this idea that I was going to get kicked out for non-payment of the rent. Oh, now you know how a lot of the family are. They say, well, since I'm homeless, I have no rights. My citizenship does not guarantee me any rights in the United States. Yes. And there is no contractual obligation. Yes. To enforce the laws of the United States because I don't have any money. Now, there's this idea, right? I'll give you an example. Ooh, that when I go to the library, yes, I agreed that I would not email anyone other than local law enforcement. Yes, the Army and the Navy and the National Guard because I have the right to email them. Yes, but somebody told me that I was clogging up the library's resources by emailing other persons in law enforcement. Yes, about my civil rights being violated. Now, I was actually removed from the library for a year. Yes. Now, yesterday, I was wanting to upload some videos to the YouTube. Yes. And what happened is they would not process. Now, maybe the library remembers, yes, that on 6/23 of 2016, I violated policy 4.1. Yes. To observe the library policies and guidelines. Yes. They said I was typing on the computer too loud, Ouch. Creating a disruptive, loud noise because of the size of my hands. Yes. And then they thought, yes, I was disruptive, aggressive, or had violent behavior. Mm-mm. Now, I was ejected from the library for 1 month. Oh, please note that law enforcement may be called to support this ban. Yes, the threat of law enforcement arresting me. Now, I was welcome to return on July 23rd of 2016. Yes. And I did return. Yes. But I had joined the senior center during that month. Yes. So that I could use a computer to email law enforcement about my rights being violated. Oh. Now it said, should you engage in disruptive behavior at that time, you'll be further banned. Yes from the library premises for an additional 12 months. Yes. And this was issued in my name, Paul Budnick. Yes. On 6/23 of 2016. Yes. Now, my experience has been, yes, that if I were to complain about the YouTube right now, they'd say, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Homeless Man. Yes, we do not have to guarantee that the library's computers allow you to upload your videos. See, somebody thinks that they own the actual resources of the library. Yes. Now, my thought was, you are intentionally obstructing me from my lawful use, yes, of the library's computers. And the library has a contractual obligation to not impair any person's use of the library's resources. Now, their thought is, well, he can't prove anything. Yes. See, I go to the study room and I'm very quiet. Yes. Then I don't really talk to anybody in the library. And I email the same email addresses every day because I know the library has to allow me to email. Yes. And since I email local law enforcement, yes, he does. The Army Criminal Investigative Division. Yes. My a friend of mine that happens to be an attorney with a law firm. Yes. That I went to high school with, so that somebody could ask me, well, why do you email this law firm? And I said, well, I actually went to high school with her, and she's an attorney, and I thought she should know what I'm doing. Yes. In the event that I go to jail. Now, the library banned me from the use of the library, and then I personally did speak to an employee of the library. Yes. And I said, well, can I email one at a time? Yes. And they said, no, it's the same effect. Yes. Can I email local law enforcement because I live in Port Angeles, Washington? Well, they can't stop me from doing that. Yes. And then I put in the National Guard. Yes. And then I put in the Criminal Investigative Division of the United States Army. Now, I was hereby notified on August 15th of 2016, yes, that I failed to observe the library's policies. I was disruptive because I was typing on the actual keyboard, yes, and disruptive, aggressive, or violent behavior because 2 minutes before the close of the library, yes, hmm on August 15th of 2017, yes, they excluded me from library premises for an additional 12 months. Now, it's kind of interesting that I, yes, was using my email accounts to email those in law enforcement about fraud, yes, forgery, yes, kidnapping, yes, civil rights violations. Now, yesterday, it looks like somebody hacked the computers so that my videos would not process on the YouTube channels that I specifically asked the librarian, is it okay if I continue to post videos on YouTube? Yes. Or use my Facebook profiles? Yes. She said, sure. You can put videos on YouTube. Yes, you can. And you can continue to use your personal Facebook profiles. Yes. And you can email local law enforcement, your personal attorney. Yes. And you can email the military of the United States of America. Now, it looks like somebody's not keeping their contractual obligation of allowing me to use my YouTube channels. Yes, my Facebook profile right now. Now, these librarians that work there, yes, let's say I sued them. I could sue them for multiple contractual obligations that they're violating, yes, by not making sure that every computer in the library allows for me to use my YouTube channels, yes, my Facebook profiles, because I was very specific in asking the librarian, well, what can I do? Now you're violating, yes, my right, yes, yes. See, I'm not viewing or printing illegal materials. No, no, no. I'm not unduly disrupting library use by others. No. Creation or emanation of any odor that can be detected. Yes. I actually do shower and shave once a week. Yes, he does. There's no sexual misconduct on my part. No. I'm not sleeping in the library. No. I'm not camping on the library property. No. I'm not drinking, using marijuana, or any other control.